Hi. Despite living in modern times, you have witnessed the possibility of an Islamic State becoming a reality. So let's say you come from a Judeo-Christian background, but you convert to Islam and then you immigrate to an Islamic State. If your non-Muslim parents are religious and they come to visit you, how free do you think they would be to worship in the local church or synagogue? The answer should be obvious. Today's Islamic State is proof that whenever Islam becomes powerful in any country, you can usually say goodbye to non-Muslim religious sites. In fact, the Islamic State has captured and destroyed many churches in northern Iraq. Some examples are the St. George Monastery, the St. Ephraim Church, and also other churches in neighboring Syria. The Islamic trend is clear. When the situation is favorable to Islam, non-Muslim minorities will lose their religious sites to an Islamic State. However, in defense of Islam, you will often hear so-called moderate Muslims claiming that today's Islamic State is not permitted to destroy, capture, and possess non-Muslim religious sites. And they back their defense by quoting Quran chapter 22 verse 40, which says, الذين أخرجوا من ديارهم بغير حق إلا أن يقولوا ربنا الله ولولا دفع الله الناس بعضهم ببعض لهدمت صوامع وبيع وصلوات ومساجد يذكر فيها اسم الله كثيرا ولينصرن الله من ينصره إن الله لقوي عزيز. Which translates as, those who have been expelled from their homes unjustly only because they said, "Our Lord is Allah." For had it not been that Allah checks one set of people by means of another, monasteries, churches, synagogues, and mosques, wherein the name of Allah is mentioned much, would surely have been pulled down. Verily, Allah will help those who help His cause. Truly, Allah is all-strong, almighty. So regarding this Islamic destruction, capture, and possession of non-Muslim religious sites, who is correct? The so-called moderate Muslims or the Islamic State? I think to answer that question, we need to refer to Muhammad. After all, Muslims believe he understood the Quran better than anyone. Well, this is the Kaaba in Mecca. It was a non-Muslim place of worship, but Muhammad converted it into a mosque. We read about this conversion in his biography titled The Sealed Nectar. Page 394 says, quote, "It," meaning the Kaaba, "was unfortunately infested with idols that numbered 360. He," meaning Muhammad, "knocked them down with his bow while reciting the verse of the noble Quran, وَقُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا," which translates as, "And say, truth has come and falsehood has vanished. Surely falsehood is ever bound to vanish." Quran chapter 17 verse 81. You see, before the rise of Islam, the Kaaba in Mecca was revered as a sacred pagan sanctuary, a pilgrimage site, and a shrine containing hundreds of idols. Muhammad's tribe, the Quraysh, was in charge of the Kaaba. But when Muhammad claimed the shrine for his new religion of Islam, his tribe turned against him. Today, the site is a mosque, and the Kaaba no longer houses those idols. However, it still contains the black stone, or Al-Hajar al-Aswad, a special object of veneration by the pre-Islamic pagans. Muslims still venerate this stone by kissing it or by waving their hands at it. So, from this sunnah or action of Muhammad, it appears the Islamic State does find justification for its own actions. But the sunnah of Muhammad is not the only place where they find justification. They also look to his authoritative companions. We see from the biography of Umar ibn al-Khattab, the second rightly guided caliph in Islam, that after his army conquered Jerusalem, he initially built a small prayer house on the Temple Mount, which is the most sacred site for Jews. Umar's action laid the foundation there for the construction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque by later caliphs. Now think about that again. The Temple Mount is the most sacred site in the world for Jews, yet there's an Islamic mosque built on it. And if that's not bad enough, what do you think the Muslims did to the second most sacred site for Jews? Well, the same thing happened there. In Hebron, at the Cave of the Patriarchs, containing the tombs of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, The Muslims converted the site into a mosque, although it was originally a Jewish place of prayer. To this day, you can still see the two Islamic minarets above the building. Of course, these are not the only examples I can give, but they're enough to prove that after Islamic conquests of non-Muslim lands and under Islamic rule, Muslims regularly established mosques on Jewish or Christian sanctuaries, even the ones associated with biblical personalities. But this video would be incomplete if I did not mention the Ottoman Islamic Empire, famous for desecrating and converting many churches into mosques. One of those churches is the famous Hagia Sophia, or in Turkish, the Hagia Sophia. It was a very important Eastern Orthodox Christian church because it was a cathedral and the seat of the Patriarch of Constantinople, a spiritual leader for Eastern Orthodox Christians. Constructed in the year 537, before the time of Muhammad, it was the world's largest cathedral for nearly 1,000 years. However, in 1453, the Muslim Ottoman Turks conquered Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, and consequently the cathedral was converted into a mosque. After the Ottoman Islamic Empire was abolished, the Turkish government made the church a museum. Actually, when I was a Muslim, I visited the museum. So here's some video footage of my visit.
Here we are just entering the Hagia Sophia, which was once the main church, the largest church in the world in the Byzantine Eastern Roman Empire, and also an Ottoman mosque during the Ottoman Empire, and now it's a museum. Let's have a look. There's the, what do you call it, paintings or frescoes or murals, I'm not sure what they call it, but this is from the original time of the Byzantine Eastern Roman Empire. That would be the baby Jesus with Mary, and to the right of it would be some angel or saints or something. And just up there you can see maybe an angel as well. And this here is the what they call mihrab, which is to show the direction of prayer to Mecca when this place was a mosque. That's from the original Ottoman period. And the place for giving the sermon, the khutbah, this is from the original Ottoman period as well, for the Friday prayers. The Arabic calligraphy here and up there in the dome is from the Ottoman period as well. It's pretty beautiful. You can see over there the ceiling looks like it has gold, gold plated or something, I'm not sure. It's really beautiful.
So, the answer to my initial question is clearly no. Your non-Muslim parents would not be free to go pray in the local synagogue or church of an Islamic State, simply because those buildings would most likely be destroyed or converted into mosques, not to mention the other potential dangers they might encounter there. So think about that before you make the mistake of converting to Islam. For more information about the conversion of non-Muslim religious sites into mosques, please click the link below in the video description. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.